everybody, and happy Easter. Hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and I got some news for y'all. So if you saw my last video, you know that I am going to extreme lengths to try to eliminate whatever took the Victorian crown pigeon's egg out of this nest. So to catch you guys up on what happened, the egg just disappeared out of the nest. No sign of any shells, no sign of anything on the ground. The egg was there that Friday evening, and that Saturday morning, the egg was gone. So you would think there would be some kind of, if the egg busted, say, or if the pigeons were to have eaten the egg because it wasn't viable, there would have been some kind of evidence, yolk, contents of the egg, contents of the shell. There would have been something left behind, but there was none of that. So my thoughts were a snake, because I don't think a rat could get his mouth around an egg, take off with it without it coming apart. But I may be wrong, because the ratinator did catch 2 rats. But since I did catch 2 of them, and I don't know if that could have been the culprit or not, I put the trap back out, because there may be more, and we don't know if that's what took the egg or not. But now, as for a snake, the trap is still set with the 2 eggs, and no sign of anything trying to enter or exit. So I'm not sure if we have a snake or if we have a very smart rat. And the lovely pair are still acting the same as they did after the last video, and every now and then you'll hear some speaking coming from the male. He lets out some vocal sounds that lets her know that he's in love, and she just listens contently. So I'm still patiently awaiting another egg to be laid, but in the meantime, we're going to keep on hoping to catch whatever the predator was. I haven't had any goslings to hatch. However, I do have some new ladies that are sitting, and they chose this spot side by side. I'm not sure if they're sisters or if they're just BFFs or what the deal is, but y'all, this is quite the sight. So these 2 ladies laying side by side. Obviously, this is the daddy in the background there. I'm not sure if that's Humphrey or Big C, but it's one of the 2. And these 2 ladies are just enjoying their time together as they sit on a huge clutch of eggs that's extending outward from underneath them, as you can see. And it looks like snowfall all around them. They've decorated this area beautifully by pulling feathers from their breast and lining the nest, and then allowing some of it to fly away. Okay, ladies, good luck. Do y'all see what I'm trying to focus on top of the hill? That is not Nugget. This is Goldie. And if you saw the video on Friday, Jason put out on the main channel, Cog Hill Farm, you guys know that Nugget is sitting on the clutch of emu eggs. And what I have observed between the time that he started sitting and now is that she is spending a lot of time in the same area that the eggs are. Now, all right, this is the fence line. This is where Goldie's sitting. You pan over, you see the oak tree with Marycarl's swing. You keep going, and you see that pile of debris right there. Nugget's just on the other side of that, sitting on the ground. So they're very close together, and I'm wondering if she's telling him to, giving him some orders, or telling him, you know, you gotta sit for 57 more days, or I don't know what's going on, but it's interesting to see that she's just looks content. So earlier I went in the porta hut where the female goose is still sitting on the large clutch of eggs. And I thought that I may be able to get some of those out and candle them and see how far along we are. And there's not a chance of that happening. She must be getting pretty close because she was not having me in there with those eggs. So I backed away as she ordered, and hopefully we'll see some of those cute little furry babies wandering around soon. So while I'm not gonna get over there right beside Nugget, I am gonna zoom in. He's actually standing up. He's standing up. That's as far as I can go. And he looks like he's putting stuff on top of the eggs again. Y'all, I'm telling you, I don't know if he's gonna be able to sit the entire time. I have a hard time not going over there and giving him food and giving him water and giving him a pat. I don't know. I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing or he wouldn't have started sitting to begin with. But I will tell y'all that Jason made a mistake in his video. And that mistake was that he told you guys that Nugget was sitting on 16 eggs. Well, that's where the mistake lies. That day that he started sitting, we were driving out the driveway and we saw Goldie laying an egg, which made number 17. And it wasn't 2 hours later after she laid that egg that we came back by to see Nugget sitting on the nest. So there are 17 eggs in that clutch that he is anxiously looking over, and I'm not sure what he's doing. He's not recognizing me standing here. However, the geese do. The wind's blowing so hard, he's having a hard time putting anything on top of them. I got Goldie right here beside me, just looking towards the area where Nugget is, as to say, do this, or maybe don't do this. Right, Goldie? But Nugget does have food and water right here on the corner of the fence where that goose stands. It's not very far from where he is, but I still would like to go over there where he is and make sure that he knows where food and water is. In the wild, they'll lose 30% of their body weight sitting on the egg clutch, not getting up for 57 to 60 days. If the 60 days is correct, that'll put us at May the 25th. See if he starts sitting again. There he goes. He's going down. He just did a little rearranging, it looks like. I'm sorry I can't get a closer shot than this, but I don't want to go over there. I don't want to disturb him. I mean, he knows I'm here, there's no doubt. But I think if I walked over there to him, he would definitely probably walk away. And that's why I'm not taking him food and water. And I'm telling y'all, when he lays flat, which is what he does, when he gets on the eggs, he lays perfectly flat. From a distance, you cannot see him. Marycarl and I were in the goat pasture earlier, and I was trying to point out to her where he's sitting, and she could not see it. He's just nearly camouflage. All you can see is the top of his back. Those are crows that are flying, if you saw those in the background. We appreciate crows here because they keep the hawks at bay. Jason and I sat and watched a hawk get ran off by a murder of crows. That's what you call a group of crows. And it was quite comical. They would go and peck the hawk, and the hawk would do what the crows told him to. It would go away. He's still not laying flat. He's got to get it just right. There he goes. There he goes. He laid down. And y'all, I mean, you can see on the camera, you know where he is. But he is just about entirely camouflage. Now Goldie, she's laying with her head up over here, so it's a lot easier to see her. And she's still keeping her eye on him. I mean, she's laying right beside where I'm sitting, but she is keeping her eye on Nugget to make sure he does the right thing. Right, girl? All right, can y'all see? Right in front of that tree is where he's sitting. 17 eggs. 50 to 70% of those should hatch, providing they're fertile. I don't think he'd be sitting if they weren't fertile. He knows enough instinctively to know to sit on them, so why would he not know instinctively to mate with her? And providing all went well, we've got fertile eggs. Not sure all 17 of them are fertile, but 50 to 70% of those 17 hatch. I'm gonna have to keep one or two. I mean, Jason and I haven't even talked about this yet, but have some friends that would love to have an emu on their farm. However, it is a lifelong commitment. I mean, not lifelong, depending on how old you are, but you know, emus can live 20 to 25 years. And that's, for some of us, means leaving the emu in your wheel. You gotta think about things like that. I mean, you gotta be in it for the long haul. That's a long time. You gotta be in it for the long haul. All right, well, I'm telling y'all, I'm eager to see if any of these emu eggs are actually gonna hatch. I know you guys are just as eagerly awaiting May the 25th, or maybe a couple of days ahead of that, depending on how long it takes. But Mr. Nugget appears to be in training. Boss Lady Goldie back behind is waiting and watching and making sure he does everything correctly. So y'all, while I hope there's not a snake hiding out in that Victorian crown pigeon coop, I do hope, however, if it were to be one, that it'll find its way to that trap. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all have a wonderful Easter, and y'all be good.